Chad Markuson, welcome to your second MSUMDragons podcast. We did
It is
this.
my second.
We had you on the podcast a long time ago. I think it was like episode 2 when we first started to talk about the trailers, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But this is the first time I know there's a little time. You're going to be our interim athletic director.
Yes, I am. I'm excited to be here.
Well, good. Most of us would say fired up, but it's a new era, around here. So I think our fans have a few questions, and I try to have this podcast help answer some of the questions of our fans and student athletes and talk about things that are more than a game. And I think you are not new to us internally and around Dragonland, but you might be a new name to a few of our people in our supporters and our Dragon community. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, tell us about your family, and kind of how you ended up here at MSUM.
All right. Well, first of all, I am excited to join you on my first ever video podcast. The first one was me and Tom. It was just the audio podcast that I was on. So excited for that change. I'm also excited to be the interim athletic director. This is an exciting time. It's something that being an athletic director is something I've aspired to be for a number of years now. Not once did I ever think of it being a Dragon athletic director. I always thought Doug Peters would have that title for.
Yeah, you're not alone there.
But yeah, exactly. Numerous people we have visited over the last week or so shared the same thing. No one ever thought Doug Peters would leave. And I can't thank Doug Peters enough for everything he did for me and my career and for my family during the last 9.5 years. Just going back to your first question, who am I? So I've been with Dragons since 2011. And I've been here and been excited to be part of this transformation that Dragon Athletics has undergone during that time, and I've played a small role in that. Prior to that, I spent 8 years at Upper Iowa University, a NSIC conference member, and when I got there, that school was transitioning into Division II, and I started as a men's and women's golf coach. I was the first full-time golf coach at Upper Iowa, and slowly, while I was there, I became an administrator and opened up my eyes about the way that I could impact student athletes. When I was just coaching, I had my 20 to 25 student athletes and I was impacting them. But then the administration side opened up the door that I could impact all 350 student athletes. And that was transforming my life. And that was amazing. So that's just a little bit about how I've gotten to be Dragon Athletics. So I got here in 2011. A little about my family. I am married to a beautiful, wonderful wife. She's a first grade teacher at Reinerson Elementary in Moorhead, Minnesota. She's been teaching in Moorhead up here for about 5-6 years now. We're fortunate to have 3 wonderful daughters. I have a 12-year-old daughter who's in 6th grade. And then I have twin daughters who are in 4th grade. Their names are Kylie's my 6th grader. Courtney and Macy are my twins that are in 4th grade. They are true Dragon fans. They love coming to Dragon games. This year has been really tough for them, not being able to come at all. The biggest thing that they always like to do is come to my office and hit the M&M dispenser on game days, and that's not happening this year, unfortunately. But
well, you don't have Doug depleting that stash anymore either, so there might be more for the girls next time they come and visit your office.
Yeah, I'm wondering if my inventory is going to be. I won't have to replenish it as often now that Doug Peters is not coming in my office on a daily basis.
Yeah, well, that could be good. It could be bad for some of us, but
that is true.
No, where'd you come from originally? Like, where were you born, and like where'd you grow up, and kind of how did Chad Markuson, I don't want to say come to be, but like where did you kind of grow up, and what was that like?
So I grew up basically in the Midwest. I like to say I was born in Iowa, but we moved a lot as a family. My dad was getting new opportunities in in his profession. And so we moved around. We spent a couple years in New York, but most of my life I've lived in Wisconsin a few times, Illinois a couple times, Iowa, Minnesota. So we've moved around a lot my whole life. But I'm a Midwest boy. Graduated high school in Wisconsin, and met my wonderful wife in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin.
Nice.
And one of the jokes I always like to say when people ask why we move so much, the first question always is, was your dad in the military? And my quick response usually is, no, we had to stay ahead of the authorities. So we had to pick up and move a lot. But.
That's true. But no, you've landed here at MSUM, and you now have this duty as interim athletic director. I know you've been deputy athletic director, associate athletic director before that. And a lot of fun names that we've called you in between. But what makes you think that you can do this job anywhere near a Doug Peters-esque kind of athletic director? What makes you think that you're ready for this and that you can handle what's about to happen?
Sure. I would say, first of all, I've been in the role semi unofficially. When Doug Peters was helping the university out and was the interim vice president for enrollment management
and
student services, I think was his title.
Well, it changed because he was vice president, then he was associate vice, so it maneuvered a little bit, but he was over there. But he was assisting our campus in bigger ways too. So while he was over there, what were you doing?
So when he went over there, that's when myself, along with you and others, we picked up the slack because we didn't add staff at the time. So that was a 2.5, 3 year endeavor that we went through. And for the most part, I did a lot of the day-to-day athletic director operations, and I did that job. So I feel that experience I can lean on heavily because I've been there, done that. Yes, I had Doug to lean on, and the fortunate part is I still have Doug to lean on because he's not leaving Fargo-Moorhead, and I have his cell phone number. So,
and he has your
and I also know where he lives.
Yeah, so. You're somewhat neighbors, and he has your snowblower, so you can always hold that for ransom.
I still need my snowblower back, but yes, so he's right up the road. So I'm confident that our administration team here, we're going to do great things. We're going to continue to do great things. I'm fortunate. We have a great admin team. We have great coaches and support staff within the athletic department who have all reached out to me and are excited for this new opportunity, this new chapter in Dragon Athletics. And everyone's willing to pitch in and do their part to help make us a success. It's not going to be just me. It's going to be the entire department stepping up and making this happen.
And I think there's one other thing that is worth mentioning. You talk about all the work that you've done here at MSUM, but you've been involved in a lot of other things outside of MSUM, in being involved with the NCAA, the pathway program. Talk about some of those experiences that you've had that have, I think, helped you prepare you for this time sitting in the chair.
Yes. So I've been fortunate. I'm currently serving on the Women's National Soccer Committee. So that's an 8-person committee that we run women's soccer championships. Unfortunately, we didn't have a championship this year, but this is my second year on that committee. Previously to that, I served 5 years as on the women's golf committee. 2 of those years, I was the chair of the women's golf committee. So I have a lot of that championship experience in organizing national championships. Along with that, you and I and the rest of our staff, we've been fortunate to host some great conference and NCAA regional championships here. And one of the experiences that was life-changing for me, I was very fortunate to be part of the NCAA pathway program. And what that pathway program is, they select 25 individuals every year who are aspiring assistant, associate level administrators within college athletics, and they select 5 Division II and 5 from Division III and 15 from Division I. And it's a year-long mentorship program. So we started off with a week-long programming at the mothership in Indianapolis. We had some great mentors who are still my mentors today, connecting with the rest of our class. This pathway program lasted a year. We had numerous in-person visits. We got opportunities to do stuff that was outside of your normal skill set. I was fortunate to go to a fundraising program that I wouldn't have gone to, and I went to, and I was the only non-fundraiser at that time, where your primary job is a fundraiser, and I got to partake in a 3-day class with that. But the Pathway program opened my eyes, and the exciting part, like our Division II and our Division III group, we were a small cohort, and out of the 10 of us in our cohort from Division II and III, I became the 9th person who has the athletic director title. The 10th person in our cohort, this weekend, she's defending her thesis for her doctorate, and she's changing her career path a little bit and leaving athletics, but we're still working in a college setting. And what an amazing class I've had, and I've been able to lean on them heavy, and I've already reached out to them. Okay, talk to me about your first 100 days.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. Those opportunities, I have a great network of people that are willing to help me and support me during this transition.
All right. Well, we got to know you a little bit, got to figure out if you can do this or not. So what are you going to do? What's the interim time? And I know it's only through June 2022, but what do you expect those first, I don't want to say 100 days as you just did, but what are we going to do before June 2022? I did not mean that to rhyme, but every now and again it works out.
I think the primary focus is still the student athlete experience. How can we continue to find new and exciting and innovative ways to enhance the experience? The great example was this week, that mission that you and I have been working on for a number of years now, those 2 trailers. And we talked about that. Tom and I talked about that on the first podcast that Tom and I did together. It's been a long process, and you and I have spent more time on it than we probably want to even try to calculate. But we got those 2 trailers up and running, and we actually ran a full doubleheader for softball this week, and high winds, and we were able to protect our equipment. We were able to put on a much better show than we've had in the past out at softball, and just excited about what those trailers are going to give us. We can go out and cover cross country. We can go out and cover all of our student athletes wherever they are, and be able to provide the amazing Go Team experience that you provide our student athletes in our streaming and in our broadcasts. And so that's one great example. There is more of those things that we're working on right now that have been in the hopper that we're working on that hopefully we can have on our future podcast. We can reveal a couple more of those things, but in the next few months, there's another big project that we're working on that hopefully we can get that thing off the ground, and that's going to be exciting, and it's going to touch all 350 of our student athletes at that time. That project is going to be enhance our student athlete experience there as well.
Well, I love ending on a teaser. There's no better way. So come back for more MSUM Dragons podcast. Chad Markuson, Interim Athletic Director of MSUM Dragon Athletics. Thank you for joining us today, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Webkin. I'm excited to be here.